Welcome to English Without Borders. Dear audience, dear followers of English Without Borders, we are very happy to resume English Without Borders activities in 2022. And today we are excited to continue our Wednesday series of English Without Borders Chai Talks with outstanding people who make a great contribution in the development of culture and education through English. And it's a big pleasure for me to introduce my guest, Khairulloeva, Sitora Khairulloeva. She is representing Pedagogical University of Tajikistan, named after Sadruddin Ainy in Dushanbe. And let me give some brief introduction about our guest speaker today. Khairulloeva, Sitora Khairulloeva is a senior teacher at the Tajik State Pedagogical University, named after Sadruddin Ainy. Since 2002 to 2008, she started her professional career at the Tajik Transport Institute. During 2008 and 2011, she worked at the Tajik Economic Institute, and later on in 2011 to 2016, she worked at the Tajik Technical University, named after Muhammad Osimi. And from 2016 up to date, she works at the Tajik State Pedagogical University, named after Sadruddin Ainy. During her professional career, she participated and successfully completed such English language courses, teacher professional development courses, creativity in the English language classroom, practical writing for professional development sessions on making English lessons meaningful, leveraging your resources. Moreover, she's an alumna of the English Teacher Mentor Program, of the American English e-Teacher Program, and Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, massive open online course. She was the Teacher of the Month in November 2020 at the Tajik State Pedagogical University, named after Sadruddin Ainy. Besides teaching, she's interested in writing books. She's the author of more than 20 articles and 2 books, English-Tajik short stories, and From Reading to Speaking, which was published in 2021. Welcome, Sitora. We are so happy to meet you at the English Without Borders Chai Talk. So, my first question to you will be, give a brief introduction of yourself, something that we don't know yet.
Okay, as you know, my name is Sitora Khairulloeva. I was born in Dushanbe in 1918. I grew up in an intelligent family. My parents both are teachers. My father is Saifullah Khairulloeva. He's a professor of German languages. He works at the Pedagogical University also. And my mother is a teacher. Now she's retired. What else? I went to school number 88 in Dushanbe city, and then after finishing school, I entered to the Tajik State Pedagogical University at the English-German faculty. And after graduating the university, I started my professional career as you mentioned, at the Tajik Transport Institute. Currently, I work at the Tajik State Pedagogical University, named after Sadruddin Ainy. I am an English teacher.
Great. So it means that you were born in a family of teachers. Your father is a teacher, your mother is a teacher. And so when it comes to inspiration, can you tell about who inspired you or who motivated you to become a teacher?
As I said, I grew up with teachers, and I always, from my childhood, I wanted to be a teacher. From my childhood,
no other profession, just teacher.
Yes, because when I went to school and after coming home, I always played with my sister. I always was a teacher, and she's a yes. And I never changed. I never doctor or engineer. No, I found myself in my life. I think that like a teacher, and I'm happy.
Yeah, that's great. So when you talk about like teaching, and we know that you have been teaching quite a long. So in general, how many years have you been teaching English? And can you tell how does the knowledge of English helped you throughout your career?
I'm teaching English almost 20 years, and to know English, the English language helps me a lot and helped me a lot during my life, because as everybody knows that it's international language, and I'm such kind of person that I like communicate. And I have a lot of friends in abroad, in Europe and in America, and English language helps me to communicate at first and to read original books, to watch news, movies.
So it helps you both in your personal life and professional life.
In personal and also for my kids, I can help them with English. My kids study at school, and they like English language, and they also, I don't know, maybe they will change in future. They mind that they also want to be a teacher.
Okay, so it's just a huge impact on your of your profession on them, and they see like you as a role model for them.
Yes, they see that I'm happy with my profession, and I can't say that it's very easy. It's enough difficult, but if a person likes what she or he does, in spite of all difficulties, person will do it.
So it means like teaching has become not only your profession but also your passion. Okay, so it drives you. Great. So when you're talking about your career and comparing yourself, like, let's say 20 years ago and now, so can you say some huge steps that you have made throughout your career that helped you to become the best version of yourself?
At the beginning it was difficult because I had less experience, but with hard working, and I always try to develop myself, and now up to now I work hard. I read a lot of books, and as much we enter to the world of knowledge, we notice that we have to know a lot of things, because there are a lot of interesting things that we have to know about them.
And as long as you move further, you will discover, so you don't know anything. You need to learn more.
I know nothing.
That's great. So and so 20 years, it's just a huge experience. Like, it's kind of when a baby is born, and when it turns like he or her turns 20, it's like an adult life. So, and can you tell about the most surprising things that you learned in your teaching career? Maybe 3 of them.
Thanks. Very interesting question. The first and the main thing that knowledge, the word of knowledge has a beginning, but it doesn't have the end. And and every time student become better and better. For example, 20 years ago, there was not so many books as we have now, or the internet was not available, and
resources.
Resources. And now there are a lot of options for our students, for everybody. And nowadays it's available, but if the person wants to do something.
So it means like, there are more opportunities right now,
a lot of
compared to 20 years ago.
Chances, to live more interesting. Because if a person knows a lot, if a person reads a lot, it's very interesting or wonderful to communicate with such kind of person.
And you pull like-minded people to your life, yeah, and you do something great as you do by your teaching. Yeah, okay. So and lesson number 2, maybe, or maybe just something very striking for you that you learned.
Technology doesn't stay in one place, and we every time, every second, every moment of our life, we have to learn in order to not to stick in one place.
Yeah, exactly.
We always have to move.
Yeah, and then moving, it means like, discovering something new, learning.
To discover, yes.
Yeah, and then lesson number 3.
Not lesson number 3. We have to, we can see the result of our life, our deeds in our life. If we do a lot, we can do our life better. If we don't do anything, we can stay in one place, in one point.
Yeah, so it means like inaction breeds 0 result. Action brings some result. They can be success or failure, but it's some result, based on which you learn. Great. So you have worked at Tajik State Pedagogical University for 5 years, and being a teacher is a noble profession, but at the same time it's a challenging profession, because it requires lots of skills. And first of all, exactly, passion and patience. So and can you tell about the issues that English language teachers and students face today?
A very interesting question. You know that when teachers or a teacher come to the classroom, if there are 20 students there, we face to 20 characters, and with each of these characters we have to communicate not in one way, in special ways.
And find a way.
We have to find a way, and in one time we have to find a way to communicate with with students, because in the first time when they come to our university, they speak with the strangers, and then it takes time to be more closely with our students, and but we also have to keep distance with them, and it's hard work.
And how about your and general, the teaching staff, working atmosphere in your university? Do you have a friendly atmosphere, and how do you collaborate with each other as teachers in order to help solve those problems? Because teachers sometimes, usually they share with each other, I have some problem students, I don't know what to do with them. And in your case, have you ever discussed these issues with your colleagues, and how you resolve these issues?
Definitely. Now, I don't know, I hear that, I don't know, maybe 40 years ago, the situation was not so good as now. But now, when I came to this university, to this to work with these people, with my colleagues, I'm glad that I'm here. I work here now, because we also definitely we can share with our experience, and with we're very lucky that with the support of U.S. Embassy in Dushanbe, there's a ERC, English Research Center, in our faculty, and every time 5 days in a week it's open, and we can go there and we communicate, we share with our materials, and we also learn some online courses, webinars. Yes, and we're very glad that we have such a resource center in our faculty.
And what are the opportunities, or do you create any opportunities for your students so they improve their English and they learn better? What are the resources that are available at the institution?
We learn, there are a lot of good specialists like Linda Chu, Alice Brittain. They teach us the new methodology of teaching, and we, with these materials, go to our classroom and teach to our students and want to get some result. And I can see that there are a lot of good results because nowadays youth want to study. For example, it was not like this about 15 years ago because due to our problems in country, but now students they know that they have a lot of opportunity if they will learn or know English language. That's why they want to study. They want to know more and more.
Yeah, that's very good. So, dear audience, please, you can also leave your questions in the comment box on Facebook. So we'll address them to our speaker today. Let's talk about your observation of your classroom as a teacher. So, what are the main challenges the students face today?
The first and the main challenge is that we have multi-level classes, and it's really challenging. But yes, it's our duty to have some solution and to give them the chance to learn language.
Okay. So, do they have any difficulties with improving any of their skills? Let's say reading, writing, speaking, or listening. What are the challenges that they usually struggle in the classroom?
I think that our students have a little shortage in speaking skills because we always motivate them to speak with each other in English, but they do it only at the university and when they go home, because we have WhatsApp groups with my students, and they sometimes they try to explain their thoughts in their own languages. I think that speaking, they have a little, how can I say, maybe shortage or problem with speaking skills, but now there are a lot of programs and TV shows, or maybe internet is very available, and I think that listening is not a problem for them. It's available for everybody, and they also can come to research center, and if they need some books, they can take from there.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so let's talk about your personal opinion. Like, so you have huge luggage of knowledge and also just experience. So can you tell us what makes a good teacher?
A good teacher should always be in a step forward to their students. Always improve her or his skills, and also a good teacher should know how to motivate students, because students are our future, and we have to motivate and prepare them for next generation, for our kids. That's why we have to do our best for it.
Okay, so it means like you invest and you contribute in the upbringing of new generation. So make this new generation really enriched to upbring the next generation. So it goes like a cycle, right? Okay, yeah, so excellent. Thank you for sharing. And what do you recommend based on your own experience? What do you recommend to teachers? What they need to pay attention while leading class, while just, leading students?
Teachers your young teachers should not afraid to be scared that maybe they will not know something. We are human beings, and maybe we'll forget something. But young teachers never, they should never give up. They always have to go forward and to learn, always improve their knowledge.
Okay, so good. So we know that you have been engaged in creating of some books and also publications. Books are your kids because you nurture, labor, and produce them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So can you tell us about 2 books which you published? And I'm sure that you are proud of your kids, proud of your books. So please just shed some light on them.
My first book is Tajik.
Yeah, you can display it.
Tajik and English short stories. It's short stories from our childhood. And every student knows the equivalent of these stories in their own language, in Tajik. And when I thought about it, that it would be the first step that if a student wants to learn English, for example, to read and translate, it's not enough. The person should retell something, should explain their thoughts. And it is like they know the equivalence of this story in their own language, and it is more easier to learn and memorize. That's why I published my first book, Tajik and English short stories. And from this book, I could see the results that students read and translate, because, as I said, that they know the stories and they can memorize words better than usual. And this is for elementary level. And my second book, I wrote it with my colleagues, It was in coronavirus time. And
so coronavirus best
result. Yes, and it was really difficult, because when we wanted to took some advice from professors to show it, sometimes it was not possible, because people were afraid to meet face to face, and it took a long time. But we did it.
Okay. So, and who are using this book? I mean, just from English from reading to speaking.
Our first and second students, second year students, yes, at the Tajik State Pedagogical University.
Okay, so and so it helps, like, to improve their reading and speaking skills, and also just boost their confidence, in English.
And it has very actual themes that it's close to our youth. That's why I think that they read it with pleasure. With they're interested in reading it.
So it's it has readings that are very interesting to young people, and they are willing to learn and also use this book, right?
Yes.
Okay, so based on what you say, so this is a collection of stories. So do you use these stories to organize some kind of discussion clubs among your students? Because, like, behind each story there is some personal life, some personal struggle, some personal history, and also some challenges or some victories, some failures. So beside, like, let's say, some educational purpose, does it have any kind of let's say cultural purpose as well?
Definitely. At first, we can show our culture to another countries, and also it helps the student to explain, and if they forget, to remember and explain our culture. to foreigners. We use this book like a home reading books, and the students can choose, because as I said, we have multi-level classes also, and the students can choose the stories with their level, and we give them chance to speak, to retell in English.
Yeah, great. So, like, let's be honest. Is it easy to write, to write a book from your own experience?
No, it is not. But as I said, that I'm such kind of person that if I like to do something, in spite of all difficulties, I will do it.
So you're just purposeful. You see the purpose and you go to it.
I have to go.
Excellent. And so let's say, how long time did it take, like, to collect this book and also just, to publish it?
It's about maybe 1.5 years, because I teach at the university, and I have a family. I'm also a mother, and in the evening when I have time, I have a book in Tajik, and when my children like to read it, because I always said them, you have to read in order to speak fluently in Tajiki and also in Russian. And once I thought that let's translate it. At first, I wanted to do it for my kids, that they know this story and they will try to speak in English in a very elementary level. And then I translated at first 5 and 10, and then I thought that let's do it for students also. And then I wrote some new words and questions to it, and it was my first.
And then the book was born.
Yeah, and this book was born. Yes.
So, what was your first feeling when you saw your book being published?
Yeah, I was very proud, and I said, "Is it mine, really?"
It was something like you cheered,
yeah.
Okay, and then, so did it give you bigger motivation to start working on the second book?
Yes, after publishing this book, I talked a lot with my father, because he wrote a lot of books also, but in German language. And he also showed me the ways how to do it better. And one day, I, with my colleagues Sitora Khairulloeva, we talked about some problems, student problems, and how to motivate them. And we thought about writing a book. And at first we collect some materials, and we met. As I said, at that time it was difficult. Sometimes we talked on phone and sometimes face to face. And we collect a lot of materials. There was a lot of ideas, and we choose from there. And the second book was born, was published.
Yeah, that's great. And like currently, do you have any idea of your next book?
So yes, we talked about it, and we made a plan with my colleague Sitora Khairulloeva, and we want to continue this book, the second chapter.
For the upper levels.
Yes,
for the upper levels. So once you publish your book, we know, as you mentioned, knowledge and technology doesn't stay in one place. They are usually dynamic. Yeah, they are moving, they are rolling up. And in case of your book, do you get some feedback from the users of these books, like on how to improve it and how to make it more relevant to the needs of the readers or users of these books?
Yes, at first, as I said, we showed and we advised with some professors, with Karuna Jamshedov, and with another teachers, with my father also. And the first year, when it was not published yet, but we had it like papers, I tried to have it in my lessons like supporting materials. And from that time, when I taught, I could see that here is better, for example, or maybe this page would be better if I will write in this way. And of course, teachers, our colleagues, our chairs gave us some feedbacks, and we worked with all these feedbacks, and then we published it.
Good. Yeah, that so it means like you tested at the same time.
At first, definitely.
Yeah,
at first we tested.
Yeah, okay. So how about your students? Did they also share some kind of feedback with you?
They all always give us good feedbacks. But they knew. They said that there are a lot of new information, for example, about information about Tajikistan, but new information, or about some about another, for example, cities, or about languages. All of them are new, renovated.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, so let's talk about, some projects that you are involved in your organization at the Tajik State Pedagogical University. We know that so many organizations, particularly like, let's say, organizations that promote English and also just, support learning of English, collaborate with Tajik State Pedagogical University. And you are, as an active member of Pedagogical State University, you are also involved. So what were some projects that you took part, and what were the results? And if you can also share what is the current project you are also working with our audience. Thank you.
There are a lot of projects in our faculty that organized by U.S. Embassy in Dushanbe in ERC, English Resource Center. And now we have a lot of online courses with how to teach English to as a foreign language to students, and new methods of teaching. Yes, the currently project is we have it up to the end of January with Linda Chu. She's very good professional, and after when in February we will start our lesson with our students, and we will have these materials with our students, like supporting materials.
Yeah, so it means like, you have a regular upgrading trainings for the teachers. Yeah. Okay. And as a result of these trainings, do you generate some more new ideas for new projects, or do you request some new projects to be organized at your university?
Yes, we want to request such kind of project like a TESOL or TEFL for our. We talked about this with ERC, but they promised us to think about it, and maybe in next months we'll have these courses, these projects.
Yeah, great. So have you participated in any TESOL conference?
Only online.
Online.
Yes.
Okay.
It was in 2020.
Okay. What do you like most about that? About TESOL?
It's a new. From this project or from these courses, I learned a lot of new things, like how to solve such kind of problems with multi-level classes, and how to make some approach, like a psychological approach with our students, and that was wonderful.
Yeah, great. Okay. So can you tell about your teaching experience? Like, what is difficult to teach to your students? Is there any particular skill that is difficult to teach and you like work over it over and over again? So what is that?
As I said several times ago, maybe 10 years ago, it was really difficult. Why? Because students were not motivated and they were lazy. But now, no, it's if we'll compare with that times, it's very easy and good. It's very I do it with pleasure.
Okay, and so as the time evolves and the education evolves, we understand that there are some skills that we lack, both teachers and students. And I know that many teachers would say that students lack critical thinking skills. And in your case, based on your own observation, is it also a case in your classroom?
Sometimes, yes, but not always. Because nowadays they are very well informed, and some of them very well educated also. They came after some private schools, and they English also better than some years ago. Also, maybe we also have such kind of students that they are lazy, they don't want to study, but we try to explain them that if you will not do it now, you will lose your chance. Because I always tell to my students that you are not always students. You are here only for 4 years or maybe 6 years, but then you have to choose your way by yourselves. Nobody will help you. That's why you have to do your best to find, to get more information and to study well in order to be individuals in future.
Excellent. So great. So can you tell us about your most favorite activities that you usually do with your students?
Good question. I like to do such activities like warming up. Yes, and when, for example, when I with my student, we have 2 or 3 lessons, 2 or 3 hours, and after the second hour or after the first hour, they become sleepy, yes, and tired. And I like to have some activities like warming up activities with them in order to energize them.
Okay, so what is that? What do you use?
The activity like pantomime.
Pantomime, yeah. Okay, so
and my students like it, and they walk after it.
They try to guess.
Yes, and also we like to do such kind of activities that I throw a ball to a student and tell them a word, and they have to give me this ball back and make a sentence with this word with new vocabulary, and it also wake them up.
Yeah, and do they understand why they are doing that? Why they are doing this activity? Because it's not enough to practice, to do drilling, but they should also understand why they are doing that.
It's like a fun for them, because in their age, they have a lot of energy and they like to joke. It's like a fun for them, and it's also checking. They can check, for example, some of them give to their friends more difficult words, and they give them like a challenge, and they have to show them that I know it, and they give them sentence with this word.
And they practice recycle, recycle the language. They learn from each other.
Yes.
Well. Yeah, great. Okay, so classroom activities should always be fun, interesting, and we know that many English teachers use extracurricular activities. So do you have any extracurricular activities that you do with your students, and what are they?
Sometimes we also watch movies, short time movies.
And it's after the class, or it's
during the class. Yes.
Uh-huh.
For example, this movie will last 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then after when it finished, I ask my students. It's like they will talk about this one problem, and we also have such kind of activities that they explain their opinion, or they explain they agree or disagreement.
Okay, great. And do you take them to some other places that to discover together, and also just to learn more about English museum or theater?
Yeah, once this year, once we were in a museum, in Sadruddin Ainy Museum, because some of our students are from villages, and they were there first time.
Yeah, they have no idea about what is museum and what is theater.
And it was interesting also for them.
Okay, and so later on, when they come back to class, do you have some recapitulation of the previous day when they visited museum? What new things you learned from them?
From my students. After coming from museum, yes, they. I think that they somehow they changed their mind, because at first, for example, they knew Sadruddin Ainy only, some of them, but only in photo. But when they went there and saw the life, how did he live, and they introduced more closely. And but what did I learn from them? I think that it was interesting, and some of them wanted. I asked them to write some information about another our poets like Mirza Tursunzoda, and another took some information from internet, and they read it. They read it, and they could like share with their course mates with this information.
Yeah, great, thank you. So let's talk about your other publications. You also write articles, right? Yeah. So how many articles have you written?
I've written 20 articles about methodology.
What are the most interesting articles? I know that they are all just, they are very informative and also just engaging, but the most interesting, which you consider yourself?
I think that one of the most interesting article is that about bilingual, how to teach in bilingual classes.
So bilingual classes.
Yeah.
You have not only Tajik and English, or
German. Yeah. We have sorry, not German. Uzbek students. We have Uzbek students, Turkmen students from Turkmenistan, and yes, and this is very interesting article.
So, what practical tips do you share with this article?
The practical tips that. For example, when in one class there are several students, and all of them are foreigners, most of them are foreigners, for example, students from Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and from Tajikistan, and most of them do not know their languages, and some of them even don't know Russian language, and they try at first with mimika. They speak with mimika, and then they will like forced to learn language, then in order to communicate with each other.
Okay, good. And the next interesting article, your recent article.
My recent article, the last article is also about methodology, how to teach and how to teach in bilingual and bilingual classes, and how to solve the problem. And like a solution of this problem is to find one theme or subject and speak in this subject most of all, in order to memorize some words from this subject.
So you, when you share your article, you usually share your own experience, your own learnings and your own observation. Yeah, thank you very much. We also have some questions from the audience, so let's read the questions as well. Munisa Khalifaeva, she's asking, how can English teachers improve their own speaking skills?
As I said, thanks a lot for questions. As I said, that technology doesn't stay in one place, and there are a lot of options. How can we improve our language? For example, we have every day a good teacher should listen, should read, and should learn also new words, and should listen the new news, new information.
Great. And do you use any resources for improving your speaking skills on a daily basis?
Yeah, I like to watch YouTube channels about how to improve languages, and I like to watch such kind of shows when the native speakers speak, and I like to improve my listening.
She's asking, students' motivation is important, but how you are as a teacher stay motivated and full of energy to teach, to write books, to participate in different events?
Thanks, Fatima, for your questions. If a person wants to do something, he or she should find time, because if we like to do something, in spite of all difficulties, we find time and do the work. And yes, we have to find time.
And where do you get your motivation?
I get my motivation when I see to my country that it is very beautiful country, and when we think about our neighbors' problems, and we thanks God and thanks to our president that with his government we have a beautiful and we have very prospective country, and the peaceful of our country motivate me to create. Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, so we have next question from Sabrina El Nazarova. What was the most difficult moment in your professional life?
When
just said, I'm complete failure.
The most difficult time, it was in 2 years ago, in this time of COVID. Yes. And there was, for example, we want to learn something. We want to, as it was quarantine, but we want to learn some new things. And as you know, the teachers also go to university, and we learn something from our students also. And it's good that with the new technologies we start to study online. But before it was really difficult.
So you need to adapt quickly to new challenges.
Very quickly.
Okay, thank you. So we have next question. Farzunay Murod, she's asking, what do you do on your lessons to familiarize students with American culture?
Thanks a lot, Farzuna. We read a lot of stories about American culture, about their history, about their even about their pronunciation, dialect,
their lifestyle,
lifestyle, culture.
And do you have any kind of events like Halloween, Thanksgiving?
Yeah, definitely.
Independence Day.
We celebrated Halloween in our faculty. Yes, and for student it was very interesting because, as I said, that they have such kind of age that they want to do some job with the fun, and students do it with pleasure.
They are full of energy. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we have next question. In what ways teaching and learning has changed, in your opinion? Yeah, and what advice do you give to the future to be or young English teachers?
Nowadays, for example, as I said, for teachers to learn something, they also try, or they need to find some new things, information, research from internet. Also students, they come to university to they study maybe about 4 hours or 5 hours, and then after they go home and they learn more from internet, from YouTube channels, from listening.
Yeah, so let's say
it's become more easy.
Yeah, more easy. And at the same time, like let's say 20 years ago, if the teacher was in the center of the classroom and everyone looked at the teacher, what he will give it or she will give it to us. And nowadays it's just, you need to seek knowledge everywhere, not only from the teacher, but also from external resources and from various gadgets that we usually have in life.
That's why we should not forget about it, that students also became more wise. That's why we have to do our best to get more information, to be several steps forward our students.
And also just, to be ahead of them. Yes. So, and in case of technology, can you say that today knowledge is mostly technology driven?
Definitely, yes. Yes, because nowadays technology became such kind of things for our lives that we can't live without them. Yes. If, for example, if we leave our phone at home, it seems to us that we felt something very very important.
I remember 25 years ago when I was a student of at the Faculty of Foreign Languages, in order to find the meaning of some new words, we usually ran to the library.
Yes.
And nowadays students just Google it. Just Google it and they find it in a click by click. So, okay, what are the 3 most important things teachers should do?
Thanks for question. The first one, very important, improve. Improve
on a daily basis.
Yes, on a daily basis, improve themselves. And the second one, motivate students. That every day is several years ago was difficult, now is easy, and in future it will be, I can't say that very easy, but more interesting. You have a lot of option in future. And the third one, never give up.
Never give up. Okay, thank you. Okay, next question, where we can find your book with stories, or for which level it can be used? 2 books.
Yes, you can find it only in our university because we published it not so much, and in future maybe I will publish it more, and it is for elementary level.
So you should definitely make an open doors for so many visitors who would like to see your book
about it,
and invite them to Tajik State Pedagogical University. So only there you can find the book. Remember that. Okay, thank you. So, okay, do we have more questions? Okay, so all right. Some more questions? Okay. Being a teacher being a mom, being a book writer. It's not an easy job to combine all of them, right? So it takes really good time management skills, and also just it takes passion, as you mentioned, and also patience to start the job and to complete it. Yeah. So can you share your favorite mottos, your favorite quote in your life that help you in your career and also help you in your daily life?
Yes, as you said, that it's really difficult to teach as a woman, to teach or to work and to have a family and also to have like a hobby. But yes, I think that person should always should not stay in one place, should always improve the skills, improve the knowledge. And my quotes for teachers, for future teachers, or for my students, that person should never stop learning. As our prophet said, that from
cradle to grave,
yes, from beginning up to the end, person should learn. And it makes our life interesting. Yeah, if we'll know more, it will be interesting for the first for ourselves, and then for our family, and then for our friends, for our society.
Excellent. Okay, so you are a senior teacher, a senior teacher, and you have some responsibilities and duties at your university. So where do you get inspiration and enthusiasm, like, to lead your staff, to motivate your colleagues? We know that, some teachers who just don't find passion in their profession, they usually quit teaching, but you have been teaching for 20 years. So can you share with us, where do you get your inspiration and how you share that inspiration with your colleagues?
Yes, thanks for the question. As I said, that I like my job, and I also love all my students. When I look to them like to my children, and sometimes if they have some mistakes, I punish them, that don't do it. It's not. At first, I always said to my students that in such kind of hard times, we have to think about our parents, because it's not easy to give some knowledge nowadays, because it's also a long way, also very expensive. That's why I always say to my students that they have to, at first they have to think about their parents, that it's very great job to them, that their child goes to university and studies there. And as I said that,
and they also invest in that.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I said that you have to do your best, because now your parents are not so old, maybe. And when after some time they become old, and then you have to support them. And you can support them only with your knowledge.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So thank you, Sitora Bono. So we are really excited also just to have this conversation, and we understand we can talk for hours, and also just the audience will bring more and more questions. And of course, using this moment, I really want to congratulate you with your 2 books, and we are wishing you a prosperous year ahead in 2022, and also productive year to publish more books. And it was our pleasure to have you as a guest speaker at the EWB English Chai Talk today, and we are looking forward to more conversations and to more collaboration with you. So stay with us And also, yeah, dear audience, thank you for your active participation, your asking questions, and yeah, please stay tuned on us and follow us on social media pages. And very soon we are going to announce a really exciting news for you. Wishing everybody to have a good evening. We don't say goodbye, but we say see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.